Hey there, friends. Get ready for a super cool story that's going to grab your attention and not let go. Imagine a super hot day, like, so hot you feel sticky all over. It's one of those afternoons where the sun is shining bright, and everything feels kind of slow and sleepy. We're in a little town, not a big city, just a small place with a few streets and houses. Cars are zooming by, making that whoosh sound as they go. The sun is beating down hard, like it's trying to cook the whole world. And right there, on a quiet street, we meet someone special. Her name is Lisa Jackson. Lisa is a black woman, and she's about 50 years old. That's older than your parents, probably, but not super old like a grandma. She's standing outside her little grocery store. It's not a big fancy store like you see in the city with tons of lights and huge signs. Nope, it's a small one, just big enough to sell some snacks, drinks, and stuff people need every day. Lisa's got a rag in her hand, and she's wiping sweat off her forehead because, wow, it's so hot out there. Her shirt sticks to her a little, and she looks tired from the heat. But she's still smiling, just a little, like she's used to tough days. To everyone in this small town, Lisa is just Lisa. That's it. They see her every day, and they think they know her. She's the nice lady who sells candy bars and cold sodas. She's the one who says, "Hi, how's your day?" when they walk in. Neighbors wave at her, kids run by her store after school to grab a bag of chips, and people chat with her about little things like the weather or how the town's baseball team is doing. They think she's super normal. Just a regular person who lives a regular life. But here's the thing, they're so wrong about her. Like, totally wrong. Lisa isn't just the grocery store lady. She's got a secret. A big one. And nobody in this sleepy little town has any idea. See, Lisa's life isn't what it looks like. On the outside, she's all about selling snacks and keeping her store clean. But deep down, there's something else going on. Something exciting. Something that's going to make your jaw drop when you find out. It's like she's wearing a mask, not a real mask, but a pretend one. She acts one way, but she's hiding something huge. And soon, that secret is going to shake up everything. The whole town, the people who know her, even the ones who don't, they're all in for a big surprise. It's like when you think you've got a plain cupcake, but then you bite into it and bam, there's chocolate inside. Lisa's got a chocolate surprise, but way bigger than that. I lean in close now, like I'm telling you something super sneaky. Here's a question for you, I say, my voice dropping low like it's a secret just between us. What would you do if someone was being mean to you, picking on you, messing with you, and they had no clue what you could really do? Like, they think you're just a regular kid or a quiet person, but you've got something amazing up your sleeve. What would you do? Think about that for a second. Maybe you'd laugh inside. Maybe you'd wait for the perfect moment to show them. Well, Lisa's kind of like that. She's got something amazing, and the people who don't treat her right, they're about to find out they made a big mistake. So stick around, okay? Don't go anywhere, because the story is about to get really, really good. We're just starting, and there's so much more to tell. Let's dive into Lisa's world and see what happens. Picture that hot, sticky day again. The sun is still shining, the cars are still whooshing, and Lisa's standing there outside her store. She looks normal, right? Just a lady trying to get through the day. But normal? Oh no. She's anything but normal. Let's keep going and find out why. Okay, let's slow down a bit and really paint the picture for you. That little town, it's the kind of place where everyone knows everyone. There's a gas station down the road with a big red sign that's a little rusty. There's a park with a swing set where kids play after school. And Lisa's store? It's right in the middle of it all, on a street with cracked sidewalks and a few trees that give a little shade. The store's got a green awning over the door, faded from the sun, and a sign that says Jackson's Groceries in wobbly letters. Inside, there are shelves with chips, cookies, and cans of soda. There's a cooler in the back that hums a little, keeping the drinks cold. It's a cozy place, the kind where you feel at home. Lisa's been running this store for years. People see her sweeping the floor or stacking cans, and they don't think twice. She's part of the town, like the trees or the stop sign on the corner. When folks walk in, she's always got a kind word. "Hot out there today, huh?" she'll say, or you need a bag for that. Her voice is warm, like a hug, and her smile makes you feel like everything's okay. Kids love her because she sometimes sneaks them a free piece of candy when their parents aren't looking. Grown-ups like her because she listens when they talk about their day. To them, she's just good old Lisa. Nothing special, nothing fancy. But that's where they're wrong. Let's talk about Lisa for a minute. She's not super tall or super short, just average. Her hair is dark with a few gray strands, pulled back in a simple ponytail. She wears plain clothes, like a blue shirt and jeans, because she's working all day and doesn't need anything fancy. Her hands are strong from lifting boxes, and her eyes, they've got this spark. You might not notice it at first, but if you look close, you can tell she's smart. Really smart. She sees things other people miss. She hears things they don't catch. And she's patient, like she's waiting for something. But waiting for what? That's the big question. On this hot afternoon, Lisa's outside because it's too warm in the store. The little fan inside isn't doing much, so she's taking a break by the door. She's got a cold water bottle in her hand, pressing it to her forehead to cool off. A couple of people walk by and wave. "Hey, Lisa," they call. She waves back, nice and friendly. A kid on a bike rides past, ringing his bell, and she chuckles. It's a normal day, or it seems like one. The town's buzzing along like always, with dogs barking in the distance and the smell of someone grilling nearby. Everything's calm. Everything's quiet. But not for long. See, Lisa's secret isn't just a little thing. It's not like she's got a hidden talent for singing or she's really good at math. No, it's way bigger than that. It's the kind of secret that changes everything. Imagine if you found out your teacher was secretly a superhero. Or your bus driver was a famous spy. That's the level we're talking about here. Lisa's got something going on that nobody in this town could even dream of. And it's tied to her family, someone super important in her life. But we're not going to spill it all yet. Oh no, that would ruin the fun. We're going to let it build up, step by step, so you're dying to know what happens next. Let's zoom in on that moment again. Lisa's standing there, wiping sweat, looking out at the street. The sun's so bright it makes everything shimmer a little, like the air's dancing. A car slows down as it passes, and the driver nods at her. She nods back, keeping it simple. She's good at that, blending in, staying low-key. But inside her head, things are moving fast. She's thinking about something big. Maybe she's planning. Maybe she's remembering. Whatever it is, it's got her ready for what's coming. And trust me, something's coming. Something that's going to flip this quiet little town upside down. Here's that question again, I say, grinning like I've got the best secret ever. What would you do if someone was being a jerk to you, and they didn't know you had something awesome hidden inside? Would you tell them right away? Would you wait and surprise them? Think about it. Lisa's in that spot right now. People are about to mess with her, and they have no idea who they're dealing with. It's like picking a fight with a lion and thinking it's just a kitty cat. Oh, they're in for a shock. So that's where we start. A hot, sticky day. A small town. A little store. And Lisa Jackson, the woman everyone thinks they know. But they don't. Not even close. This is just the beginning, friends. We've got a long way to go, and it's going to be a wild ride. Picture Lisa standing there, sweat on her brow, secrets in her heart. She's ready. Are you? Let's keep going, because this story's about to heat up even more than that sunny afternoon. Now, let's stretch this out and really sink into it. That hot day, it's not just hot, it's the kind of hot where you feel like you're melting. The air's thick, like you're breathing soup. Lisa's store has a little bell over the door that jingles when people walk in, but right now, it's quiet. No customers, just the hum of that old cooler and the buzz of a fly that's circling around. Outside, the street's got that sleepy vibe. A dog's lying under a tree, panting. A lady across the road is watering her flowers, but even the water looks tired as it hits the ground. Lisa's been out there a while, just watching. She likes to keep an eye on things. Maybe it's a habit. Maybe it's more than that. Her store's been hers for 10 years now. She bought it with money she saved up, and she's proud of it. It's small, but it's hers. The shelves are neat, the floor's clean, And she knows where everything is. If you ask for gum, she'll point right to it. If you need a cold drink, she's got it ready before you even finish asking. She's good at her job. Really good. But that's not the only thing she's good at. Let's talk about the town some more. It's called Oakwood, not a real place, just a name for our story. Oakwood's got about 500 people, maybe less. There's a school down the street with a playground where kids scream and laugh at recess. There's a diner where folks eat burgers and pie. And there's Lisa's store, right in the heart of it. Everyone knows her face. They see her every day. Morning, Lisa, they say. See you tomorrow, Lisa, they call. She's like part of the furniture, always there, always the same. Or so they think. But Lisa's got a past. Not the kind she talks about. Not the kind anyone in Oakwood knows. She didn't grow up here. She moved in years ago, quiet as a mouse, and set up her store. No one asked where she came from. No one cared. She was nice, she worked hard, and that was enough. But if they'd asked, they might have wondered. If they dug a little deeper, they might have found something wild. Because Lisa's life before Oakwood, it wasn't all grocery stores and small talk. It was bigger. Way bigger. On this hot day, though, none of that matters yet. It's just Lisa and the heat and the quiet street. She takes a sip of her water, the bottle dripping a little from the cold. A bird chirps somewhere nearby, and she looks up, squinting at the sky. It's blue, not a cloud anywhere. A perfect day, you'd think. But perfect days don't stay perfect forever. Something's coming. You can feel it, can't you? Like the air's holding its breath, waiting for the next move. Let's imagine Lisa's thoughts for a second. She's standing there, looking calm, but inside, she's sharp. She's always sharp. She notices stuff like how that car slowed down a little too long, or how the guy walking his dog keeps glancing her way. She doesn't miss much. It's like her brain's a camera, snapping pictures of everything. Why? Because she's ready. Ready for what? Oh, we'll get there. Don't worry, I won't leave you hanging forever. But we've got to build it up slow, so it's extra exciting when it all comes out. Here's that question one more time, I say, winking at you. What would you do if someone thought you were weak or boring, but you had a secret power they didn't know about? Would you show it off? Would you keep it hidden until the perfect moment? Tell me what you think. Lisa's got her secret, and she's keeping it close for now. But not for long. This hot, sticky day is just the start. The real fun's about to begin. And there we are, friends. We've set the stage. Lisa's in her spot, the town's humming along, and the secret's bubbling under the surface. We're at the edge of something big, something that's going to make you go, whoa, no way. Picture that little store, the sun shining down, Lisa wiping her brow. It's all so simple, so normal. But normal's about to get tossed out the window. Stick with me, because this story's going to take off like a rocket. Ready? Let's go. Okay, friends, let's jump back into our story. We're picking up right where things start to get exciting. Lisa Jackson's day is about to go from normal to wild. Picture this, it's still that hot, sticky afternoon in her little town of Oakwood. The sun's shining down, cars are whooshing by, and Lisa's standing outside her small grocery store, just like we left her. She's wiping sweat off her face with a rag, trying to stay cool. Everything seems normal like any other day. She's ready to sell some snacks, chat with neighbors, and keep things running smooth. But then, out of nowhere, trouble rolls up. And I mean rolls up because here come two cops in a big, shiny police car. The car pulls up right in front of Lisa's store. The tires crunch on the gravel, and the engine makes a low rumble before it stops. The doors swing open, and out step two cops. These guys aren't friendly. They're loud, they're rude, and they look like they're itching for a fight. One of them is tall with a buzzed haircut, and he's chewing gum so hard you can hear it pop from across the street. The other one's shorter, with a scruffy beard, and he's got his hands on his hips like he thinks he's the boss of everything. They don't even say hi. They just march over to Lisa like they own the place. Hey, lady, the tall cop snaps, his voice sharp like a bark. He's chomping that gum like it's his job, pop pop pop. We got a call about some suspicious activity around here. You know anything about that? He stares at Lisa, his eyes narrow, like he's already decided she's up to no good. His buddy, the short one, stands there smirking, watching her like she's a bug he wants to squish. They're trying to scare her, you can tell. They want her to shake or stutter or look guilty, even if she's not. But Lisa? She doesn't shake. She doesn't stutter. She's cool as a cucumber like the ones she sells in her store. She stands there, rag still in her hand, and looks right back at them. Her voice is steady, not loud or scared. Just running my store, officer, she says, simple and clear. That's it? No big explanation, no begging. Just the truth. She's not giving them anything extra to twist around. She's calm, like the still water in a pond before a fish jumps out. You'd think that'd be enough, right? She answered their question. She's just a lady with a store. But these cops? They don't like calm. They don't like simple. The tall one spits his gum on the ground, grows right, and steps closer. Yeah, sure, he says, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Just running your store. We'll see about that. He starts tossing more questions at her, fast like he's throwing darts. Who's been in here today? What you selling? Why's it so quiet around here? He's not really listening for answers. He just wants to keep her talking, keep her on edge. The short cop jumps in too. Move along, he grunts, like Lisa's the one bothering them. He takes a step closer, so close she can probably smell his sweaty uniform. We're watching you, he adds, pointing a finger right at her face. His voice is low and mean, like a growl from a dog that doesn't like strangers. They're ganging up on her now, trying to make her feel small. To them, she's just some lady they can push around. They don't care that it's her store, her space. They think they're big and tough, and she's nothing. But here's the thing, Lisa doesn't budge. She doesn't step back or look down. She stands there, straight and strong, like a tree that won't bend in the wind. If you look close, real close, you can see something in her eyes. It's not fear. It's not anger, not yet, anyway. It's a tiny spark, like the first flicker of a fire before it gets big. She's not scared of these guys. She's not even surprised. Why? Because she's used to this. People judging her, talking down to her, acting like she's less than them. It's happened before. Maybe it's because she's black. Maybe it's because she's a woman. Maybe it's because she's quiet and runs a little store. Whatever it is, she's faced it 100 times. And she's still here. Those cops, though. They don't see that spark. They don't know what's coming. They think they've got her all figured out, just a regular lady who's easy to mess with. Oh, they're so wrong. So wrong. They just picked a fight with the wrong person, and they don't even know it yet. Lisa's got something up her sleeve, something big, and these two are about to step right into it. But we're not telling you what it is yet. Nope, that's a secret for later. For now, let's watch this play out. Let's slow it down and really see what's happening. The cops are standing there, all puffed up like roosters in a henhouse. The tall one's got his arms crossed now, still smirking like he's won something. The short one's pacing a little, kicking at the dirt with his boot. They're loud, not just their voices, but everything about them. Their car radio crackles in the background, spitting out static and muffled words. Their belts jingle with stuff, handcuffs, a flashlight, whatever cops carry. They're making a show of it, like they want the whole town to see them bothering Lisa. Across the street, a couple of people peek out their windows. A lady in a yellow dress stops watering her flowers to watch. A kid on a bike slows down, staring with big eyes. Everyone's wondering what's going on. Why are the cops here? What did Lisa do? But Lisa doesn't look at them. She keeps her eyes on the cops, steady and sure. She's not yelling for help or acting nervous. She's just there. Like she knows something they don't. The tall cop leans in a little. You hear me, he says, louder this time. We got a call. Something funny's going on around here, and you're right in the middle of it. He's making it up, you can tell. Or maybe someone did call, but it's probably nothing. Maybe a neighbor got mad about something silly, like Lisa's store sign being crooked. Who knows? These cops don't care about the truth. They just want to stir up trouble. What you hiding in there? He asks, nodding at her store. Let's take a look. Lisa tilts her head, just a tiny bit. It's a grocery store, she says, calm as ever. Chips, soda, bread. That's it? She's not sassy or rude, she's just stating facts. But that makes the cops mad. They don't like it when she's not scared. The short one snorts, like she said something funny. Yeah, right, he mutters. We'll see. He takes another step, like he's about to push past her and go inside. Now, let's freeze that moment. Picture it, Lisa's standing by her door, the green awning flapping a little in the hot breeze. The tall cops looming over her, gum still popping. The short one's reaching for the door, his hand an inch away. The street's quiet except for that radio crackle and a dog barking far off. Lisa's face doesn't change, but that spark in her eyes? It's still there. She's not moving, not blinking. She's like a rock in a river, water can rush around her, but she stays put. Why isn't she scared? Most people would be. Two big cops, acting tough, saying mean things'd make anyone nervous. But not Lisa. She's faced worse, you can feel it. She's got a toughness inside her, built up from years of dealing with junk like this. Maybe it was other rude people in the past. Maybe it was hard times before she came to Oakwood. Whatever it was, it made her strong. Stronger than these cops could ever guess. And here's the fun part, they don't know who they're messing with. They think she's just some lady with a store. They think she's weak, easy to push. But Lisa's not weak. She's not easy. She's got a secret, a big, juicy one, and it's tied to something so wild it'll flip this whole story upside down. Those cops? They're like ants picking on a lion, thinking it's just a big cat. They're clueless. And that's what makes this so good. Let's keep going. The short cop's hand is on the door now. He pushes it open, and the little bell jingles. He steps inside, not even asking if it's okay. The tall one stays outside, keeping an eye on Lisa. Don't move, he says, like she's a criminal. Lisa doesn't move, but she doesn't look happy either. Her lips press together, just a little. Not a frown, but close. She's watching them, taking it all in. Inside, the short cop starts poking around. He kicks a box of cereal off a shelf. Oops, he says, but he's laughing. He opens the cooler, grabs a soda, and cracks it open. Evidence, he jokes, taking a big gulp. He's making a mess, leaving fingerprints on stuff, acting like the store's his playground. Lisa can hear it all from outside, the thud of the box, the hiss of the soda can. But she doesn't yell or run in. She just waits. The tall cop outside keeps talking. You better start explaining, he says. We don't like funny business around here. He's trying to sound tough, but his voice cracks a little, like he's not as sure as he pretends. Lisa looks at him, straight in the eyes. I'm not doing anything funny, she says. I sell snacks. That's my business. Her words are simple, but there's power in them. She's not backing down. The short cop comes back out, wiping soda off his chin. Nothing in there, he says, like he's disappointed. Yet. He grins at Lisa, mean and sneaky. We'll be back, lady. You can't hide forever. They're trying to scare her, make her feel trapped. They want her to think they're in charge. But Lisa? She's not scared. That spark in her eyes is still there, maybe even brighter now. She's not trapped. They are, and they don't even know it. Let's stretch this out some more, because this is where the tension builds. The cops don't leave right away. They hang around, leaning on their car, talking loud so Lisa can hear. This place is too quiet, the tall one says. Something's off. The short one nods. Yeah, she's hiding something. I can feel it. They're making stuff up, trying to sound smart. But really, they're just mad she's not giving them what they want: fear, tears, a fight. She's too calm, and it's driving them nuts. Lisa goes back to her rag, wiping her hands like nothing's happening. She's not ignoring them, she's just not playing their game. The neighbors are still watching, whispering now. What's Lisa done, they wonder. Why are the cops here? But Lisa doesn't explain. She doesn't need to. She knows the truth, and that's enough for now. The cops finally climb back in their car. "We're watching you," the short one yells out the window as they peel off, tires squealing. Dust kicks up, and the street goes quiet again. Lisa stands there, watching them go. Her face is still, but inside, she's thinking. Planning. That spark in her eyes, it's not going away. She's used to this nonsense, but she's not going to let it slide. Not this time. Those cops think they won. They think they scared her, showed her who's boss. But they didn't. They just lit a match and Lisa's the fire. They don't know who she really is. They don't know what she's capable of. They picked the wrong woman to mess with, and soon, they're going to find out why. But we're not there yet. Oh no, we're just getting started. The tension's building, like a balloon filling up with air. It's going to pop, and when it does, wow, it's going to be big. So there we are, friends. The cops are gone for now, but the air's thick with trouble. Lisa's standing strong, and those jerks have no clue what's coming. She's not just a store lady. She's something more. Something amazing. Stick around, because this story's about to get even wilder. Alright, friends, let's keep this story rolling. We're moving into the next part, where things start to heat up even more. Lisa Jackson's still in her little town of Oakwood, running her grocery store like nothing's wrong. But something is wrong. Those two rude cops won't leave her alone. Days go by after that first visit, and you'd think they'd get bored and move on. Nope. They keep coming back, like flies buzzing around a picnic. And every time they show up, they make Lisa's life a little harder. But here's the cool part, Lisa's not just taking it. She's smart. She's sneaky. And she's got something up her sleeve that's going to surprise everyone. So, picture this, it's been a few days since the cops first rolled up to her store. The sun's still hot, the air's still sticky, and Lisa's still working. She's behind the counter now, ringing up a kid buying a candy bar. The little bell over the door jingles as the kid leaves, and everything's quiet again. But then vroom, that police car pulls up outside. The same two cops climb out, the tall one with his gum and the short one with his scruffy beard. They don't come inside this time. They just park right in front of her store, sitting in their car, staring through the big window like they're trying to catch her doing something bad. Lisa sees them. She's stacking some bags of chips on a shelf, and she glances out the window. Those cops are glaring at her, their eyes all squinty and mean. She doesn't wave or smile. She just keeps stacking, slow and steady. But inside her head, she's watching them right back. Every move they make, she notices. The tall one leans back in his seat, chewing that gum loud enough for her to hear it through the glass. Pop, pop, pop. The short one taps his fingers on the steering wheel, smirking like he's got a secret. They're trying to scare her, make her nervous. But Lisa? She's not scared. She's quiet, like a shadow, but she's not weak. The next day, they're back again. This time, they get out of the car. The tall cop walks right up to the door and pushes it open. Jingle goes the bell. He doesn't say hi or anything nice. He just stomps over to a stack of soup cans Lisa lined up neat and pretty by the counter. Oops, he says, and with a big grin, he knocks the whole stack over. Crash. The cans roll everywhere, banging on the floor, bouncing off the shelves. He laughs, loud and mean, like it's the funniest thing ever. Sorry about that, he says, but he's not sorry at all. The short cop's outside, leaning on the car, chuckling too. They're acting like bullies on a playground, picking on someone just because they can. Lisa doesn't yell. She doesn't cry. She just bends down, quiet as can be, and starts picking up the cans. One by one, she grabs them: tomato soup, chicken noodle, vegetable. She stacks them again, nice and neat, like nothing happened. The tall cop watches her, still grinning. You're real quiet, huh, he says. What you hiding, lady? He's fishing for something, trying to get her to snap. But Lisa doesn't snap. She finishes stacking, stands up, and looks at him. Just cleaning up, she says, her voice soft but steady. He snorts, like he's mad she didn't fight back, and stomps out. The short cop yells, "See you tomorrow," as they drive off, laughing. Now, here's the thing, friends, Lisa's not just sitting there letting them win. Oh no. She's doing something sneaky. Every time they come by, every rude word they say, every smirk they flash, she's keeping track. It's like she's a detective in a mystery book, collecting clues. When the tall cop knocks over stuff, she notices how he stands, how he moves. When the short cop talks, she listens to every word, even the little mumbles. She's filing it all away in her brain, like putting papers in a folder. Why? Because she's not going to let this go on forever. She's got a plan brewing, and those cops don't even know it. Days turn into more days. The cops keep showing up, sometimes in the morning, sometimes at night. One time, they park across the street and just sit there for an hour, watching. Another time, the short cop comes in and accidentally spills a soda on the floor, leaving a sticky mess. "My bad," he says, laughing as he walks out. Lisa grabs a mop and cleans it up. Quiet again. Neighbors start whispering. Why are they bugging Lisa, they ask each other. She's so nice. But Lisa doesn't say anything to them. She just keeps working, keeps watching. Let's zoom in on one day, okay. It's a Wednesday, and the sun's setting, turning the sky all orange and pink. Lisa's store is about to close. She's counting money at the counter, pennies, nickels, dimes, when the cops roll up again. This time, they both come inside. The tall one's chewing gum, as usual, and the short one's got a flashlight, even though it's not dark yet. "Hey, lady," the tall one says, leaning on the counter. "We're gonna need to check this place out. Suspicious stuff going on." He's making it up, you can tell. The short one starts walking around, shining his flashlight on shelves, poking at bags of chips like they're hiding something. Lisa looks up from her money. "It's a store," she says, calm as ever. "Nothing suspicious here." The tall cop laughs. "We'll see about that," he says, and kicks over a box of crackers just for fun. Crackers spill everywhere, crumbling on the floor. The short cop shines his light in her face, trying to make her blink. "You better watch yourself," he says, all gruff and mean. They're pushing her, harder now, seeing how far they can go. But Lisa? She just picks up the crackers, one by one, and puts them back. She doesn't flinch. That spark in her eyes? It's getting brighter. They leave after a while, laughing as they go. "We'll be back," the tall one yells. The car peels off, and the street's quiet again. Lisa locks the door, flips the open sign to closed, and stands there for a minute. She's not mad, not on the outside, anyway. But inside, something's moving. Something's growing. She's not just cleaning up messes anymore. She's getting ready. Now, here's where it gets super cool. Late that night, way after the sun's gone down, Lisa's still in her store. The town's asleep, houses dark, dogs quiet, stars twinkling outside. She's in the back, where she keeps extra boxes and stuff. The lights are off, so no one can see her from the street. She pulls out a phone, not a fancy one, just a little old one, and presses some buttons. She's calling someone. Her voice drops low, like a whisper, so quiet you'd have to be right next to her to hear. "Yeah, it's me," she says, soft and sneaky. They're getting bolder. "Tell her it's time." That's all she says, no big speech, no loud words. She hangs up fast and puts the phone away. Who's she talking to? Who's her? What's time for? Oh, friends, this is where the mystery gets thick. You can feel something big coming, like when you hear thunder far off and know a storm's on the way. It's slow, it's steady, but it's building up to something huge. Let's think about that call for a second. Lisa's not alone in this. She's got someone, maybe more than one someone, helping her. That her she mentioned? It's got to be someone important. Someone who knows Lisa's secret. Someone who's ready to jump in when the moment's right. And it's time. That means the plan's starting. Whatever Lisa's been waiting for, whatever she's been watching and filing away, it's about to happen. Those cops have been pushing her, day after day, and now she's pushing back. But not loud, not yet. She's sneaky, like a fox waiting to pounce. The cops don't know about that call. They don't know Lisa's watching them just as much as they're watching her. Every time they knock stuff over, every time they laugh or smirk, She's keeping score. She's like a teacher marking a test. Every rude thing they do gets a check in her book. And those checks? They're adding up. The cops think they're winning, think they're big and tough. But they're walking right into a trap they can't see coming. Let's stretch this out some more, because it's too good to rush. The next day, the cops are back. It's early, just after Lisa opens the store. The sun's barely up, and the air's still cool for now. They park in their usual spot, right outside, and sit there again. This time, they've got coffee cups, sipping loud and sloppy. The tall one spills some on purpose, letting it drip onto the sidewalk. Oops, he says, grinning at Lisa through the window. She's sweeping the floor inside, and she doesn't even look up. But she sees it. She always sees. Later that day, a kid comes in, maybe 10 years old, with $1 to buy a soda. The cops are still outside, and the kid looks nervous. Why are they here? He whispers to Lisa. She smiles, soft and kind. Don't worry, she says. They're just noisy. Go enjoy your soda. The kid nods and runs off, but Lisa's smile fades when he's gone. She's not mad, she's focused. Those cops are scaring people now, not just her. And that's another check in her book. By the end of the week, they're bolder than ever. The short cop comes in alone one afternoon, acting like he owns the place. He grabs a bag of chips off the shelf, rips it open, and starts eating right there, without paying. Good chips, he says, crumbs falling on the floor. You should thank me for testing them. He laughs, tossing the empty bag at Lisa's feet. She picks it up, quiet as always, and throws it in the trash. He stares at her, waiting for her to say something. She doesn't. She just looks at him, that spark in her eyes burning now. He shrugs and leaves, but you can tell he's annoyed she didn't fight. That night, she makes another call. Same phone, same whisper. They're not stopping, she says. Hurry. She hangs up quick, and the store's dark again. The storm's getting closer, friends. You can almost hear the thunder now. Lisa's not just watching anymore, she's moving. She's setting things up. And those cops? They're about to get a big surprise. So there we are. Days of trouble, little hints, and that sneaky phone call. Lisa's not breaking, not bending. She's building something awesome. The cops think they're in charge, but they're wrong. They're stepping into her trap, one rude move at a time. What's next? Oh, it's going to be wild. Stick with me, because this story's just getting started. Okay, friends, buckle up. We're at the best part of the story now, the part where everything goes boom. It's been a wild ride with Lisa Jackson and those mean cops, and now it's all coming together. Picture this, it's a Friday evening in Oakwood, that little town we've been talking about. The sun's going down, painting the sky with pink and orange streaks. The air's still warm, but it's cooling off a little, and the street outside Lisa's grocery store is quiet. People are heading home after a long week, ready to relax. Lisa's inside her store, wiping down the counter, getting ready to close up. Everything seems normal until it's not. The door flies open with a big bang, and in come those two cops, the tall one with his gum and the short one with his scruffy beard. They're louder than ever, stomping in like they own the place. The little bell over the door jingles like crazy, but they don't care. They're cocky, all puffed up like they finally won something. The tall cop slams a pair of handcuffs down on the counter, clank, and grins at Lisa. Time's up, lady, he says, his voice rough and mean. You're coming with us. He's chewing that gum so loud it's like popcorn popping, pop, pop, pop. The short cop steps up too, cracking his knuckles like he's ready for a fight. Yeah, he grunts. No more games. Let's go. Lisa's behind the counter, rag in her hand, looking at them. She doesn't jump or gasp. She's calm, like always. Her face doesn't change, but that spark in her eyes? It's there, bright and steady. She puts the rag down slow, real slow, and stands up straight. The cops think they've got her trapped now. They've been bugging her for days, knocking over cans, spilling soda, watching her store like hawks. They think she's scared, think she's weak. Move it, the tall one snaps, tapping the handcuffs. We're done playing. They're so sure of themselves, so sure they're the big bosses here. But then bam, the door swings open again. Not a little jingle this time, but a loud whoosh, like someone kicked it hard. Everyone turns to look, even the cops. And in walks a woman nobody saw coming. She's tall, way taller than Lisa, with sharp eyes that cut through the room like a knife. She's wearing a sleek black suit, not a regular outfit, but something fancy and cool, like you see in spy movies. Her shoes click on the floor, click, click, click as she steps inside. The air feels different now, heavy and strange. Even the cops freeze, their mouths half open, like they don't know what's happening. Lisa looks at the woman, and for the first time all day, her face changes. She smiles just a little, but it's real. The woman stops, looks at Lisa, and says one word, Mom. That's right, friends, this is Mia Jackson, Lisa's daughter. And she's not just any daughter. She's a legend. A superstar. Mia works for the CIA, you know, the big spy group that catches bad guys all over the world. She's taken down spies, crooks, and sneaky people from places you've never even heard of. She's tough, she's smart, and she's here. The cops? Their jaws drop. Like, literally, their mouths hang open so wide you could fit a soda can in there. The tall one's gum stops popping, he's too shocked to chew. The short one's hands fall to his sides, and he blinks fast, like he's trying to wake up from a dream. Mia steps forward, cool as ice, and pulls something out of her pocket. It's a badge, shiny, gold, with big letters that say CIA. She holds it up so the cops can see, and her voice cuts through the room, cold and strong. You're harassing my mother, she says. Big mistake. Let's freeze that moment, okay? Picture it, Lisa's behind the counter, smiling that tiny smile. Mia's standing there, tall and fierce, badge in hand. The cops are stuck, like statues, their faces all red and confused. The store's quiet, no jingles, no talking, just the hum of the cooler in the back. Outside, the sky's getting darker, but inside, it's like a light just turned on. A big, bright light that shows everything. Lisa finally speaks. She looks at the cops, her voice smooth and calm. Told you I'm not who you think, she says. And oh, friends, that's the truth. Turns out, Lisa's been hiding something huge all this time. She's not just a grocery store lady. For years, she's been helping Mia. She's been feeding her info, like secret tips about bad guys. Lisa's been quiet, working in the background, passing along stuff she hears in her store or sees in town. She's like a spy too, but sneaky and silent. And these two cops? They just stepped right into her trap. Let's back up a bit and see how this all explodes. It's Friday evening, like I said. Lisa's been dealing with these cops all week, knocking stuff over, laughing, acting mean. She's been on the phone, whispering to someone, saying, it's time. And now we know who she was calling Mia. That whole time, Lisa wasn't just cleaning up messes. She was setting things up, waiting for the perfect moment. She knew the cops were getting worse, getting bolder. And she knew Mia was ready to swoop in. So that Friday, the cops decide it's their big day. They've been watching Lisa, making up stories about suspicious activity. They don't have proof, they're just mad she's not scared of them. They barge in with those handcuffs, thinking they'll drag her out and look like heroes. We've got you now, the tall one says, slapping the counter again. No more hiding. The short one nods, stepping closer, like he's going to grab her arm. They're so sure they've won, so sure she's alone. But then Mia walks in, and everything flips. The cops don't know what to do. They're used to pushing people around, not getting pushed back. Mia's badge shines under the store lights, and she stares them down. Harassing my mother, she says again, slow and clear. You picked the wrong family. The tall cop stutters, actually stutters. W what? Who are you? He asks, his voice all shaky. Mia doesn't even blink. Mia Jackson, CIA, she says. And you're done. Lisa leans on the counter now, cool as can be. She's not scared, not worried. She's been waiting for this. I tried to tell you, she says to the cops. But you didn't listen. And here's the big reveal, friends, Lisa's been Mia's secret helper forever. People come into her store every day, neighbors, strangers, delivery guys. They talk, they gossip, They say stuff they don't think matters. But Lisa listens. She remembers. And when it's something big like a bad guy planning something sneaky, she tells Mia. Quietly, from her little store, she's been helping catch crooks all over the world. The cops didn't see that coming. They thought Lisa was just a lady with chips and soda. They thought they could mess with her because she's quiet, because she's not loud or flashy. But quiet doesn't mean weak. Quiet can be strong. And Lisa? She's super strong. She's been weaving a web, like a spider, and these two just flew right into it. Let's stretch this out, because it's too good to rush. The cops are still standing there, frozen. The handcuffs are on the counter, forgotten. The tall one's face is red now, like he's embarrassed. The short one's backing up, bumping into a shelf. Oops, more cans fall, but he doesn't laugh this time. Mia steps closer, her black suit looking sharp and scary. You've been coming here for days, she says. Knocking things over, scaring people. Why? The tall cop tries to talk. We got a call, he mumbles. Suspicious stuff. Mia raises an eyebrow. A call, she says. From who? He doesn't answer. He can't. There was no real call. They just wanted to feel big. Mia shakes her head. You don't mess with my mom, she says. She's smarter than you'll ever be. Lisa smiles bigger now, not a huge grin, but a real one. She's proud. Not loud proud, but quiet proud. She's been playing this game longer than the cops have been alive, probably. I see a lot, she says to them. Hear a lot. You should have left me alone. The cops look at each other, like they're finally figuring out they're in trouble. Big trouble. Outside, the street's still quiet. No one knows what's happening yet. But inside the store, it's like a movie scene. Mia's standing tall, badge out, voice cold. Lisa's calm, smiling, in control. The cops are shrinking, smaller every second. They thought they were the hunters, but they're the ones caught. Lisa's web was invisible until it wasn't. So there it is, friends. The big boom, the huge reveal. It's Friday evening, and the cops are toast. Mia's here, Lisa's all right, friends, we're at the part where everything gets tied up nice and neat. The big reveal just happened. Mia, Lisa's super cool CIA daughter, stormed in and shocked those rude cops. It's still Friday evening in Oakwood, and the store's buzzing with excitement. But now, it's time for justice to roll in like a big, happy wave. Let's see how it all plays out, step by step, with Lisa and Mia showing everyone who's boss. So, picture this, Mia standing there in her sleek black suit, badge still shining in her hand. The cops, the tall one with his gum and the short one with his scruffy beard, are frozen, their faces all red and sweaty. They're caught, and they know it. Mia doesn't mess around. She pulls out her phone super quick, like she's done this a million times, and presses some buttons. This is Agent Jackson, she says into it, her voice sharp and clear. I need backup at Jackson's Groceries, Oakwood. Now. She hangs up, cool as ice, and looks at the cops. You're done, she says, simple and strong. The cops blink at her, like they can't believe it. Back up, the tall one mumbles, his gum falling out of his mouth and sticking to the floor. Gross. The short one's hands are shaking a little, and he takes a step back, bumping into a shelf again. More cans tumble down, bang, crash, but no one's laughing now. They thought they were big and tough, but Mia's bigger. Way bigger. And she's not alone. Minutes go by, tick, 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 and then you hear it, sirens. Loud ones, wailing through the quiet town. Red and blue lights flash outside, bouncing off the store windows. Car doors slam, and suddenly, the place is swarming with people. Not regular people, agents. They're wearing dark jackets with big yellow letters that say CIA on the back. They've got earpieces and serious faces, like they're ready for anything. They pour into the store, fast and smooth, surrounding the cops before they can even think about running. Whoa, whoa, the tall cop yells, holding up his hands. What's going on? But the agents don't answer. One of them, a big guy with sunglasses, even though it's night, grabs the tall cop's arm. You're under arrest, he says, his voice deep and no nonsense. Another agent snaps handcuffs on the short cop. Click, click, and he squirms, but there's no getting away. Mia steps back, arms crossed, watching it all like a teacher watching a test get graded. Here's the juicy part, friends, these cops? They've been bad for a long time. Turns out, they weren't just picking on Lisa. For months, whole months, they've been shaking down people all over Oakwood. Shaking down means they've been acting like bullies, making folks give them money or stuff to leave them alone. They'd roll up to little shops like Lisa's and say mean things like, "Pay us, or we'll make trouble." They thought no one would fight back. They thought they could do whatever they wanted because they had badges and a car. Wrong move, guys. Super wrong move. Mia knew about this. Lisa knew too. See, all those days the cops were bugging her, Lisa wasn't just cleaning up their messes. She was listening, watching, and telling Mia everything. People in town would come into her store and whisper stuff like how the cops took cash from the diner lady or scared the gas station guy into giving them free gas. Lisa filed it all away, like a detective with a notebook, and sent it to Mia. And Mia? She's been building a case, collecting proof, waiting for the perfect time to strike. That time? It's now. The agents start hauling the cops out. The tall one still talking, trying to wiggle out of it. "We didn't know," he mutters, his voice all whiny now. "We didn't know she was your mom." Mia cuts him off, sharp and fast. "You didn't need to know," she says. "You just needed to stop." Boom. That shuts him up. The short cop doesn't even try to talk, he's too busy tripping over his own feet as the agents push him toward the door. Outside, it's a big show. The street's full of those flashing lights, red, blue, red, blue. Neighbors are peeking out their windows, jaws dropping. The lady in the yellow dress from across the street steps onto her porch, hands on her hips, watching. The kid with the bike rides up, eyes wide, whispering, "Cool." More cars pull in, not just CIA ones, but regular police too, real cops who aren't crooked. They're here to help, making sure everything's under control. The bad cops get shoved into the back of a van, slam goes the door, and everyone can hear them banging around, mad and scared. Let's slow it down and soak it in, okay? The store's quiet now, except for the hum of that cooler. Mia turns to Lisa, who's still behind the counter, cool and calm. The agents are outside, talking into their earpieces, making sure the cops don't get loose. Lisa picks up her rag again, like nothing huge just happened, and wipes a spot on the counter. Mia walks over, her shoes clicking, and stops in front of her mom. "You okay?" she asks, her voice softer now, not the icy spy voice, but a daughter voice. Lisa nods, that quiet grin still on her face. "I'm fine," she says. "Always am." Mia smiles a real smile, not a tough one, and steps around the counter. She wraps her arms around Lisa and gives her a big hug. "You're the real hero here," Mia says, squeezing tight. Lisa hugs her back, but then she shrugs, like it's no big deal. "I just run a store," she says, her voice light. "And maybe help out a little." They both laugh, a little chuckle, and it's the sweetest sound after all that noise. Outside, the neighbors aren't just peeking anymore, they're coming out. The lady in the yellow dress walks over, clapping her hands slow and loud. "Lisa, you're amazing," she calls. The kid on the bike drops it and runs up, yelling, "That was awesome." More people join in, old Mr. Henry from the diner, the gas station guy, even the schoolteacher with her glasses sliding down her nose. They're all clapping, cheering, crowding around the store. They used to whisper about Lisa, wondering why the cops were bugging her. Now they're amazed. They never really knew her, not the real Lisa. Lisa steps outside, locking the store door behind her. Click goes the key. The sky's dark now, stars popping out, and the air's cool at last. She looks at the crowd, her grin growing just a bit. "Thanks," she says, simple and shy. But it's over now. The neighbors keep clapping, and someone yells, "You're the best, Lisa." She waves, not big and showy, but enough to say she hears them. Mia comes out too, standing next to her mom. She's still in that black suit, looking like a superhero, but she's not the star right now, Lisa is. The agents are wrapping up, driving off with the cops in that van. The real police stick around a little, talking to people, making sure everything's okay. The tall cop and the short cop? They're gone, off to face big trouble, jail, probably, for all the bad stuff they did. They thought they were untouchable. Nope. Lisa and Mia showed them. Let's stretch this out, because it's too good to rush. Back inside, before they locked up, Mia and Lisa had a little moment. The agents were still outside, and the store was empty. Mia looked at the handcuffs the tall cop left on the counter and picked them up. They really thought they'd use these on you, she said, shaking her head. Lisa chuckled. They thought a lot of wrong things, she said. Mia tossed the handcuffs into a trash can clunk, and they both smiled. It was like throwing away all the mean stuff those cops did. Then Mia got serious for a second. You didn't have to deal with them so long, she said. I could have come sooner. Lisa shook her head. No, she said. Had to be sure. Had to catch them good. That's Lisa smart, patient, waiting for the perfect time. She didn't just want the cops to stop bugging her. She wanted them stopped for good, for everyone in Oakwood. And Mia made it happen. Outside again, the crowd's still there. Mr. Henry from the diner walks up, his apron all greasy from flipping burgers. Lisa, you saved us, he says. They took $20 from me last month. The gas station guy nods. Me too. Free gas every week, or they'd park by my pumps all day. Lisa listens, her grin fading a little, not mad, just sad for them. Won't happen anymore, she says, and they cheer again. The kid with the bike runs up to Mia. Are you a spy? He asks, eyes huge. Mia bends down, grinning. Something like that, she says. But my mom's the real spy here. The kid looks at Lisa, amazed. You're so cool, he yells, and runs off to tell his friends. Lisa laughs quiet, but real, and Mia pats her shoulder. Told you, she says. Hero. The real police finish up, tipping their hats to Lisa and Mia. We'll take it from here, one says. Those two won't bother anyone again. They drive off, and the agents follow, their cars disappearing into the night. The street's quiet now, just the sound of crickets and a dog barking far off. The neighbors start heading home, still talking about Lisa and Mia, still clapping a little as they go. Let's keep going, because this feels so good. Lisa and Mia stand outside the store a bit longer. The closed sign swings in the breeze, and the stars are bright above. Mia looks at her mom. You sure you're okay? She asks again. Lisa nods. Better than okay, she says. They're gone. Mia smiles. Thanks to you, she says. All that info you sent me perfect. See, Lisa's been sneaky for years. Her store's like a secret base. People talk, and she listens. A guy brags about stealing? She tells Mia. A lady whispers about a shady deal? Mia gets the tip. Lisa's quiet, but she's sharper than anyone knew. Those cops didn't just mess with her, they messed with the whole team. And they lost. The neighbors are almost gone now, just a few stragglers waving goodnight. Lisa unlocks the store one more time, click, and steps inside. Forgot something, she says. Mia follows, curious. Lisa grabs a broom and sweeps up the last of the cracker crumbs from earlier. Can't leave a mess, she says, grinning. Mia laughs. Always cleaning, she says. Even after all this. They finish together, sweeping side by side, like it's just another day. Back outside, Lisa locks up again. The town's asleep now, houses dark, street empty. Mia hugs her mom one more time. I'll check in tomorrow, she says. Gotta go file this with the CIA. Lisa nods. Be safe, she says. Mia walks to a black car parked down the street super spy style, and drives off, headlights fading away. Lisa stands there alone, looking at her store. That quiet grin still on her face. She's not just the grocery lady anymore. She's the lady who took down the bad guys, with a little help from her daughter. The cops are gone, justice is served, and Oakwood safe again. She turns, walks home probably just around the corner, and the night settles in, peaceful at last. So there we go, friends. Justice served, bad guys caught, and Lisa's the hero she always was. The neighbors know it now, Mia knows it, and those cops? They'll never forget it. What a night. Stick around, because the story's winding down, but there's still a little more to say, secrets out, and everything's flipped upside down. Those mean guys didn't know who they were messing with, and now they're stuck. What happens next? Oh, it's going to be good. Stick around, because this story's not over yet. Lisa's still outside her store, that little grin on her face. The street's empty now, no flashing lights, no noisy cars, just the soft chirp of crickets and a cool breeze rustling the trees. The closed sign on her door swings a little, creaking in the quiet. Mia's black spy car is long gone, zooming off to wherever CIA agents go after a big win. The neighbors have trickled back to their houses, still buzzing about what they saw. Lisa takes one last look at her store, her little green awning, her neat shelves inside, and turns to walk home. Her shoes scuff on the sidewalk, a soft tap tap tap, as she heads down the street. Her house isn't far, just a few blocks away, a small place with a porch and a tiny garden out front. She's lived there since she moved to Oakwood years ago, keeping it simple and cozy. As she walks, the stars twinkle above, bright and clear. She's thinking about everything that happened, the cops, Mia, the agents. It's been a wild day, but she's not tired. Not really. She's happy. Not loud, jump up and down happy, but that quiet kind of happy that sits in your chest like a warm blanket. Back at the store, though, the night's not totally over. Let's zoom out a bit. The real police, the good ones who showed up to help, are still finishing up. One of them, a lady with short hair and a notepad, is talking to Mr. Henry from the diner. So they took money from you too, she asks, scribbling fast. Mr. Henry nods, his apron flapping as he waves his hands. $20 last month, he says. And they ate free pie once, didn't even say thanks. The police lady frowns, writing it all down. We'll get it sorted, she says. They're not getting away with this. Across the street, the gas station guy's telling his story too. Another cop, a guy with a mustache, listens as he explains, they'd park by my pumps and scare folks off if I didn't give them gas for free. The cop shakes his head. That's rotten, he says. We'll make sure they pay. The police are gathering all these little bit stories from people the bad cops bullied. It's like putting together a puzzle, and every piece shows how mean those two were. Lisa's not there to hear it, but she's the reason it's happening. Her tips to Mia started this whole thing. Back to Lisa, she's at her house now. She climbs the porch steps, creak, creak, and pulls out her key. The door's old, painted blue, and it squeaks when she opens it. Inside, it's dark and quiet. She flips on a light, and you can see her place, a little living room with a couch, a TV, and a shelf full of books. There's a kitchen in the back, small but neat, with a teapot on the stove. It's not fancy, but it's hers. She kicks off her shoes by the door, thump, thump, and heads to the kitchen. After a day like that, she needs a cup of tea. She fills the teapot with water, sets it on the stove, and waits for it to whistle. While it heats up, she sits at her little table, staring out the window at the dark yard. Her grin's still there, soft and calm. She's thinking about Mia, how proud she is of her daughter. Mia's out there, catching bad guys all over the world, and Lisa's been helping her from this tiny town. It's a secret they've kept for years, just the two of them. Tonight, though, it's not a secret anymore. Oakwood knows, and that feels good. The teapot whistles ee, and Lisa gets up. She pours the hot water into a mug, drops in a tea bag, and watches it turn the water brown. She adds a spoonful of sugar, plink, and stirs it slow, the spoon clinking against the cup. She takes a sip, warm and sweet, and sighs. It's been a long day, but it's ending right. Those cops are gone, locked up somewhere, and they won't bother anyone again. She did that. Well, her and Mia together. Let's jump back to the town for a bit. The police are packing up now, their cars pulling away one by one. The street's dark again, just a few porch lights glowing. The lady in the yellow dress is still on her porch, talking to her husband. Can you believe it, she says, her voice loud enough to carry. Lisa's a hero. And that daughter of hers, wow. Her husband nods, scratching his head. Never would have guessed, he says. She's so quiet. Down the road, the kid with the bike is at home, telling his mom everything. There were lights and sirens, he says, bouncing on his toes. And this lady in a black suit, she was a spy. And Lisa's her mom. His mom laughs, ruffling his hair. Sounds like a movie, she says. But I believe it. Lisa's always been special. The kid grins. She's the coolest, he yells, running off to draw a picture of it all. Mr. Henry's back at his diner, flipping the open sign to closed. He's still shaking his head, amazed. Lisa saved my pie, he mutters, chuckling. The gas station guy's locking up too, smiling for the first time in weeks. No more free gas for those jerks, he says to himself. The whole town's buzzing, even as it quiets down for the night. They're all thinking about Lisa, how she fooled everyone, how she stood up to those cops without even raising her voice. Back at Lisa's house, she's done with her tea. She washes the mug, splash, scrub, and sets it by the sink. She walks to her living room, sits on the couch, and picks up a book from the shelf. It's an old one, with a worn cover, maybe a mystery story. She likes those figuring out clues, solving puzzles. It's kind of like her life, right? She opens it, but she doesn't read yet. She's still thinking, replaying the day in her head. She remembers the cops barging in, all loud and cocky. She remembers Mia walking through that door, tall and fierce. She remembers the handcuffs hitting the counter clank, and the agents swarming in. It was fast, but it felt slow too, like every second stretched out. She knew it was coming, those phone calls to Mia, those whispered plans. It's time, she'd said, and Mia made it happen. Lisa's grin grows a little. She's proud of herself too, not just Mia. She stayed calm, kept her cool, and won. Let's stretch this out more, because it's fun. Lisa puts the book down and leans back on the couch. Her house is so quiet, no sirens, no yelling, just the tick of a clock on the wall. She closes her eyes for a second, breathing slow. She can still hear Mia's voice in her head, "You're the real hero here." It makes her feel warm inside, like the tea did. She's not used to people calling her a hero. She's just Lisa, the store lady. But tonight? She's more than that. Outside, the town's asleep now. The diner's dark, the gas station's locked, and the kid with the bike is probably dreaming about spies. But Lisa's awake, thinking. She gets up, walks to her window, and looks out. Her little garden's there, some flowers, a few tomato plants. She waters it every day, keeps it nice. It's small, like her store, but it's hers. And tonight, it feels bigger somehow, like she's not just growing plants, but growing something else. Respect, maybe. Or power. She thinks about the neighbors clapping. They didn't know her before, not really. They waved, they said hi, but they didn't see her. Now they do. That lady in the yellow dress, Mr. Henry, the kid, they all see her. And they're not scared or whispering anymore. They're happy. They're proud. Lisa's grin stays put. She likes that. She didn't do this for cheers, but it feels good anyway. Back to the cops for a sec. Where are they now? Probably in a jail cell somewhere, far from Oakwood. The tall one's not chewing gum anymore, no gum in jail, ha. The short one's not laughing either. They're sitting there, mad and quiet, thinking about how they messed up. We didn't know, the tall one said, and Mia shut him down. Lisa smiles at that memory. They didn't know, but they should have. They should have seen she wasn't weak. Too late now. Let's keep going. Lisa walks back to her couch and sits again. She picks up a picture frame from the table next to her, a photo of her and Mia, taken years ago. Mia's younger in it, maybe 20, with a big smile. Lisa's smiling too, her arm around her daughter. They look happy, close. They've always been close, even when Mia went off to be a spy. Lisa stayed here, running her store, but they never lost touch. Those secret calls, those tips, it kept them together. Tonight was just the big finish. She sets the photo down and leans back. The clock ticks, tick, 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 and it's getting late. She should sleep, but she's not ready yet. She's still too awake, too full of the day. She thinks about tomorrow. The store'll open again, same as always. People will come in, maybe more than usual, wanting to talk about tonight. "Lisa, you're amazing," they'll say. She'll smile, shrug, say, "Just doing my job." But it'll be different now. They'll look at her different. She gets up one more time, walks to her kitchen, and grabs a cookie from a jar. She deserves it, right? She munches, crunch, crunch, standing by the window again. The streets so quiet, so peaceful. No cop cars, no trouble. Just Oakwood, safe and sound. She did that. Mia helped, but Lisa started it. She's the root, the strong part holding it all up. We're almost there, friends. Lisa finishes her cookie and brushes the crumbs off her hands. She's ready for bed now. She turns off the lights, click, click, and heads to her room. It's small, with a bed, a dresser, and a little lamp. She changes into pajamas, soft ones, blue like her door, and climbs under the covers. The sheets are cool, and she sighs, comfy at last. She lies there, staring at the ceiling. Her grin's gone, but she's still happy inside. She thinks about Mia one more time, her tough, smart daughter. Be safe, she'd said, and she meant it. Mia's out there, doing big things, but Lisa's here, keeping Oakwood safe in her own way. They're a team, even miles apart. She closes her eyes, and the house is silent. The clock ticks faintly from the living room. Outside, the crickets hum. Lisa drifts off, dreaming of quiet days and big wins. The cops are gone, justice is served, and she's the hero. Not loud, not flashy, just Lisa, strong and steady. Hey there, friends. We've made it to the end of this awesome story about Lisa and Mia, the mom and daughter team who flipped everything upside down in the best way. It's time to wrap it up with some thoughts that'll stick with you, make you feel good, and maybe even cheer you on a little. So grab a comfy spot, and let's talk about what we learned from Lisa, Mia, and those silly cops who didn't know what hit them. This is going to be fun, easy, and full of big ideas made super simple just for you. So here's the deal, Lisa and Mia turned the tables on trouble. What does that mean? It means they took a bad situation, those rude cops picking on Lisa, and spun it around like a top until the good guys won. Lisa was quiet, running her little store in Oakwood, while those cops thought they could push her around. They knocked over cans, laughed in her face, and acted like big bullies. But Lisa? She didn't yell or cry. She stayed calm, watched them close, and waited. Then Mia, her super cool spy daughter, swooped in, and bam! The cops were toast. Together, they showed everyone that trouble doesn't win when you're smart and strong. Let's think about that for a sec. Sometimes, the people you don't notice, the ones who aren't loud or flashy, are the ones with the biggest surprises up their sleeves. Lisa was like that. Everyone in town saw her every day, selling chips and soda, smiling at kids, sweeping her floor. They thought, oh, that's just Lisa. She's nice, but nothing special. Boy, were they wrong. She had a secret. She was helping Mia catch bad guys all over the world. She was quiet, sure, but she was tough. Tougher than those cops could ever dream of being. It's like finding a plain rock and then cracking it open to see a shiny gem inside. Lisa was the gem, and no one saw it until the right moment. That's a cool lesson, right? Sometimes, people look at you and think they know everything about you. Maybe they see you at school, sitting quietly, not making a big fuss. Maybe they think, oh, that kid's not a big deal. But you've got stuff inside you, smart ideas, brave thoughts, maybe even a secret talent they don't know about. Next time someone underestimates you like they don't think you're strong or cool, just smile and think of Lisa. She didn't need to shout or show off. She just waited, planned, and then surprised everyone. You can do that too. The quiet ones. They're often the strongest, just like her. Let's imagine that for a minute. Picture you're at school, and some kid's being mean, maybe laughing at you because you didn't answer a question fast or because you're not the loudest in the group. You could get mad, sure. But what if you did a Lisa move? What if you stayed calm, kept your head up, and waited for your chance to shine? Maybe you're awesome at drawing, and one day you show a picture that makes everyone go, whoa. Or maybe you're great at helping friends, and when someone needs you, you step up big. That's your surprise, your gem. And when people see it, they'll think twice before laughing again. Lisa's story shows us that strength isn't always loud. It's not about yelling or pushing people around like those cops did. It's about knowing who you are, even when no one else does. Lisa knew she was more than a store lady. She knew she was helping Mia, keeping Oakwood safe in her own sneaky way. And when the time came, she let that strength out quietly, but oh so powerful. You've got that in you too. Maybe you don't fight spies like Mia, but you've got your own kind of strong. Maybe it's being kind when others aren't. Maybe it's working hard even when it's tough. That's real power. Let's stretch this out and dig deeper, because it's too good to rush. Think about those cops for a second. They were loud, stomping around, acting like they owned everything. They thought that made them strong. They thought picking on Lisa, knocking over her stuff, scaring her neighbors made them big shots. But were they strong? Nope. They were weak. Weak because they had to bully people to feel good. Weak because they didn't see Lisa coming. When Mia showed up with her badge and her agents, those cops shrank like balloons losing air. All that noise, all that meanness, it didn't mean a thing. Now think about Lisa again. She didn't need to be loud. She didn't need to knock stuff over or yell at people. She was strong in a different way inside. She watched, she listened, she planned. She was like a superhero with no cape, just a rag and a smile. And Mia? She was the flashy part, the one who swooped in with the cool suit and the badge. But Mia couldn't have done it without Lisa. They were a team, one quiet, one loud, both awesome. That's another lesson: you don't have to do it all alone. Sometimes your strength comes from the people you trust, like Lisa trusted Mia. What about you? Who's your team? Maybe it's your family, like Lisa and Mia. Maybe it's a friend who's got your back. Or maybe it's just you, being your own hero, waiting for the right moment to shine. Either way, you've got something special. Those cops underestimated Lisa because she didn't fit their idea of strong. Don't let anyone underestimate you like that. You don't have to prove anything right away, just keep being you, and the surprises will come out when they're ready. Let's play with that idea some more. Imagine you're Lisa for a day. You're in her store, sweeping the floor, and some big, loud kid comes in, acting all tough. You're just a sweeper, they say, laughing. You don't fight back, you just smile, quiet and calm. Then later, you show up with something amazing, like you win a race, or you help someone big, and that kid's jaw drops. Whoa, they say. I didn't know. And you just grin, like Lisa did, because you knew all along. That's the power of being quiet and strong. It's sneaky, it's cool, and it works. Let's keep going, friends, because this is fun. So what did you think of this twist? Those cops got what they deserved, right? They were mean, they were rude, and they thought they could get away with it. But Lisa and Mia said, no way. They caught them, locked them up, and made Oakwood safe again. It's like when a bully finally gets in trouble at school, everyone cheers because it's fair. Drop a comment and tell me, did you like seeing those cops get hauled off? Did it feel good when Mia said, you're done? I bet it did. And if you loved this story, hit that like button and subscribe for more. I've got tons of tales like this, ones that keep you guessing, ones that make you cheer. Stories about regular people doing big things, just like Lisa. She didn't need a fancy suit or a badge, she had her brain, her heart, and her daughter. That was enough. What's enough for you? Maybe it's your ideas, your kindness, your smile. Whatever it is, it's big, even if no one sees it yet. Let's stretch this out even more, because we're not done yet. Think about Lisa locking up her store that night, grinning as the neighbors clapped. She didn't expect that. She didn't do it for cheers, she did it to stop the bad guys. But when people saw her, really saw her, it felt good. That's a cool thing to remember: you don't always need people to notice you, but when they do, it's like a bonus. Lisa didn't change who she was, she stayed quiet, stayed steady, and that's why she won. You can win like that too, just by being you. What if you're quiet like Lisa? Maybe you don't talk a lot in class or run around yelling on the playground. That's okay. Quiet doesn't mean small. Quiet can mean smart, brave, ready. Lisa proved that. She didn't need to shout to beat those cops, she just needed to wait and strike. You can wait and strike too, not with fists, but with your own surprises. Maybe you help a friend, maybe you ace a test, maybe you stand up when it counts. That's your Lisa moment. We're almost there, friends, so let's keep it rolling. Picture Lisa at home now, asleep in her little house. She's dreaming maybe about Mia, maybe about her store, maybe about the day she fooled everyone. She's happy, peaceful, strong. And you? You're here, thinking about her story. What sticks with you? Is it the way she smiled when Mia showed up? Is it the cops getting caught? Is it the idea that quiet can be mighty? Whatever it is, hold on to it. It's yours now. Next time you feel small like someone's looking past you or laughing, think of Lisa. Smile to yourself, just a little, and say, they don't know me yet. Because they don't. You've got surprises, just like she did. You've got strength, even if it's quiet. And one day, when the time's right, you'll show it. Maybe not with CIA agents and handcuffs, but in your own way. That's the magic of the story. It's about Lisa and Mia, but it's about you too. So what did you think? Tell me in the comments, did those cops deserve it? Did you love the twist? I want to hear. And if this story made you smile or cheer, hit that like button and subscribe. There's more where this came from, more heroes, more surprises, more fun. Lisa's story is done, but yours? It's just starting. Be quiet, be strong, and be ready. The world's waiting for your big reveal.